Wasn't able to vote in the last election.
Okay.
Yeah, I just
To
had.
vote?
Yeah, but I'm able to vote. I'm a citizen now.
Oh,
Oh yes, I'm a damn citizen, Johnny.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you. Which day were you born?
Oh, my official name is Nana Kwame Obu the First.
Nana Kwame Obu the
Nana
First.
Kwame Obu the First, Divisional Chief of Asabo Central Region.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Hey, so guess what we're drinking? We're drinking a very warm, hot, powerful plant called moringa. And honestly, go and check online and you will see why you have to sip a glass of hot, warm moringa every morning. Currently, I am in Central Region, a beautiful place. I wouldn't like to tell you more about this place, but first of all, let's introduce my guest for today. He's not only just a guest, he's a brother. He's into a lot of things. I will let him introduce himself and then we'll take it from there. But anyway, thank you very much for offering me a warm cup of moringa tea.
Oh, yes. Up anytime, my brother.
Right,
Anytime. Yes,
thank
yes.
you. So tell us a little bit about Damien and what is happening.
This is Damien D. Smith, originally from STL, St. Louis, Missouri. Shout out to St. Louis, and much love and prayers go out to St. Louis. We're having a tornado crisis right now, and it's been horrible weather, and it's a devastating storm. So prayers go out to all my people. Please support and fund the people of St. Louis. That's the first thing. That's where I'm from. I currently live in Los Angeles, California, and in here, in this beautiful place.
Straight up. Yo, so first of all, you have a nice place, but before we talk about a nice place, I mean, he's built this yard that I think we will talk about that later. But when did you realize that there was a chance for you to find an alternative to life, to where you live? And then you decided to say, hey, let me go to Africa. Let me go to Ghana. What triggered that thought to say that I want to come home?
You know what happened? What triggered that was a yearning of always wanting to be connected with my roots as much as I possibly can. In the States, I do a lot of philanthropic work, you want to call it, or giving back in the hood, or working with young people and things like that. But then part of my advocacy is knowing your roots and being connected to who you are as much as possible. So that's what I has been doing. But while I was doing my work as an artist.
Okay.
So that always integrated itself within my artistic expression. So I was always yearning to get more of a connection, and I knew I was getting to a point. I was like, listen, I got to get to on the continent somewhere. Right. I just felt like I just got to go on the continent somewhere because I talk so much. Talk so much Black Power.
Yeah.
I got to be at least say I've been to the continent, right?
Yeah.
So I was sitting at home, and about 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago now, my brother, bro Morris, was showcasing. If anybody know Morris, he is on Facebook. Yeah. You can live vicariously through him. Yeah. So I'm looking at all the fun that he was having, and I was like, man, he's in Ghana. I'm like, all right, I got to go check this place out. Mm-hmm. I had just finished a project, and I was just about to go into another project. Yeah. So I had that grace period in between time. So I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and go and check it out. So I came over just to visit, and just to check my box of saying I've been on the continent. Yeah. You know how it is. So I get over here, man, and I describe it like this. I don't know if you know about an East Coast winter, but an East Coast winter in New York City winter is a very cold winter, or Missouri, St. Louis winter is a very cold winter where you got to put on these big boots, layers and clothes and layers and scarves and jackets and all these type of things and hats and skull caps. And I say that because when you're getting off the plane in a crowd and you step out into the landscape of everything, you realize you feel much lighter. Yeah. You feel like you took all those layers off and you didn't know you had them on. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's a feeling of at peace that I felt, and a feeling of being inclusivity, especially when you drive around, you see that this is all geared towards you. Mm-hmm. You know, these all the advertisements, all the commercials, all the bus drivers, all the people that you're going to deal with, interact with on all levels, or your people, or people that have an experience that's shared through melody.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's the feeling in this you get when you get
when
there.
you get to that.
And I was like, wow, and I was enjoying myself so much.
What did
And
you
I-
do? What are some of the
Oh
things
man,
you
I
did on
went
the
to,
first day?
oh,
On the first time.
the first time was, of course, I had to go to Republic Bar and Grill.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. Come on, man. You know you got to get to Republic. You got to take a sip on Republic.
Yeah.
So you go to Republic, and then I was saying, I think I was either staying at the Signature or staying at the first time. No, my first time I stayed with my good brother Kwabena. Custom Looks. I don't know if you guys know about Custom. My brother Kwabena.
Is he the one who does the
uniforms for the
president?
yeah.
Oh,
That's all. That brother hosted me. I stayed
okay,
there
Quab.
with
Shout
my
out
brother
to you,
Morris.
Quab.
Shout out to Quab, man. Looked out
Yeah.
for a brother, and I got to
That's
build with that brother, right?
Yeah.
So Quab has a unique experience that he is born in Ghana, but spent a significant amount of time in the States,
Okay.
and then came back and stayed here and built his empire.
Okay.
You know, on this on this. So he can understand some of the shorthand
Okay.
that because he has a shared experience in the States.
Yeah.
You know, so there's thing, you know, so just because that can veer off into a whole nother thing. So I was just saying is that I was hanging out with him and I had a great time and loving Ghana. Went to all the beaches. What's the
Labadi?
Oh yeah, Labadi is my place. I got a masseuse at Labadi, is just the best I've had, and I've had some great massages all around the world.
Right.
What's the other beach house, the beach club that's Labadi?
Labadi.
I've been La Palm. I've been there. What's the other ones? It's the Sandbox.
Sandbox. Okay.
Yeah, I went to Sandbox. It was beautiful. That was my first experience on like with one of the beach clubs out here. So it was a beautiful time. But then I came up to the Cape Coast and Elmina area.
Yeah.
And I know it was something about this area that the air was lighter.
Okay.
I felt the texture of the air. I just loved this place. And I knew that this was the place for me. It was calmer, it was peaceful. It was, you know, you can be in your own path, you know, and I knew that was a lifestyle that was more accustomed for me, that what I was wanting for my experience on the continent and in Ghana.
So in other words, the part of Central Region, which is Cape Coast, Elmina, is kind of calm.
Yes.
Not too busy for this kind of lifestyle.
Yes.
Yes.
It's conducive. Yes, it's definitely for this type of lifestyle. Yeah. And it's like if you want to get into something, I can go to Cape Coast and you get to enjoy some nightlife and things like that. But everybody kind of stays to their own, but it stays to their own, meaning like they'll go to your house, you go to their house, those type of things, or you can be by yourself and enjoy it. It gives you those options, and that's what I enjoy.
Right. So
and the cultural connection. I do truly feel that I'm connected to this area significantly in some manner in my lineage, and so I just go with I try to move on instinct.
3 years going and coming in. What has been some of the few challenges you were able to overcome? A few challenges that you faced 3 years ago, trying to get your place done, you know, connecting with the people, you know, getting things done here in Ghana. What are some of the challenges you've been through and were able to overcome it?
Well, that's a good question. So, challenges meaning I was taught lessons. Positively and negatively, when it comes to it, meaning like patience. Right. I had to have more patience in Ghana, 1,000%. And it's a cultural way of life as opposed to a lot of Americans, not even just Americans, people come in, especially from the West, we are based on a clock.
Right.
You know, we're based on these 24 hours and these times, this time is allocated for this is allocated for this. So we're based on this time.
Yeah.
So when you come here, you see that time is a
secondary matter.
It's a secondary. That's a great way of putting it. Time is a secondary matter on certain things. But again, that's for the good and for the bad. So if it's at a restaurant, you're getting your food prepared fresh.
Yeah.
You're getting it cooked from there. You're going to have that, preferably, hopefully, most of the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then when it comes to like waiting on materials, when I'm building, that time is a killer.
Yeah.
Because the rain season's coming.
Right.
and we need to start this building and get this thing situated before the rain season is. So,
yeah.
you know, those type of times and language barriers is a huge. I'm now learning, but you know, I've had some beautiful experiences with meeting fabulous and wonderful people that have helped me out tremendously in this building, because I built this place pretty aggressively. So I mean, in a short amount of time that I executed getting this done, from what I've heard. For me, it's no difference, because this is a time frame I've already had, and I didn't know anything. Sometimes when they say ignorance is bliss, you know, so I didn't know that I was building in a speedy amount of time. I just knew that this was the time schedule that I wanted. So when I started going, and people were like seeing the time, the pace that I was building things, and I was coming to challenges of like, man, take your patience and time, and what did we wait on this, and that lackadaisical approach I was seeing being to things that was irritating me, and it was causing friction on how I communicated and how they communicated with me. So I had to come up with a plan to alleviate that obstacle. And again, that was me having a little more patience. And then also there was having to be a change of some of the vendors and the people I was working with, because they did not have the sense of urgency that I need. I do
have to look for
exactly person, because one thing that's universal though is professionalism. That's why it's called professionalism. It's a universal standard way and practices. You see what I'm saying? You know, so that's why you have to be within that, and that's some of the challenges that I had to overcome. Some of the professionalism aspects of certain things, but then other stuff is just, it's so effective and efficient. Like, you know, my plumber. You know, he comes in, he does his thing, and he's right on point, man. So shout out to Wally. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. So you know, you got to give, like my guy Filippo, Philip the carpenter. You find your crew. You find your crew once you get that.
From here,
you get that. Exactly. You get people like our good sister Judith, who comes through and in a pinch and looks out for everybody. Shout outs to Judith. You know, we got to shout out to Judith.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. So, you know, and then developing your crew. So that's some of the obstacles and things that I've overcome. And, you know, just knowing how to deal with things when it comes.
What would you have done differently if you hadn't visited Africa? Do you think the way you live now, having all this, and if you were there, do you think there has been a change in you living in Africa and back then when you were in LA?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, even here as a peace of mind aspect.
Peace of mind.
Yeah, when I came here, when I came up to the Central region, I stayed at Mabel's Table. You know Mabel's Table?
Yeah, I know.
Shout out to Mabel's Table, man. I stayed at Mabel's Table for like 2 months. Stayed in Chateau number 1, Chalet number 1. You know, right there on the ocean. I went to sleep to these waves.
Yeah.
Like this is what it soothed me. It healed me. Right. I was able to meditate. I was able to, you know, get into my get into my mind and get it cleared up in alignment and you know, get and prioritize. Right. So that within itself was healing. Beautiful thing, man. So I appreciate that. So that's why I started drinking moringa in the thing. Hello. Hello. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. All right.
Aside everything you're doing, I mean, when I got to know about you, it was Morris who called me and said, "Hey, Ekow, I've got this brother. He's into acting and director, blah, 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 blah. Do you want to meet him?" And I was like, yeah. But I was, running around, going here, going there. So one time, I think I saw your post on Facebook. I was like, okay, let me holler at you. And then that was when I was in South Africa. And then we spoke, and then I was like, yo, let me come here and then talk to you. So if you would have a chance to talk to, advise any African diasporan male who would like to take that step to say that, no, I want to try this, I want to move out, do you think it's something you would advise? And if yes, what would you ask the person to do? What are the steps he has to take to have a successful movement from the United States of America to Ghana? What would be the steps?
Well, I mean, the first, I'm happy you asked that question, and particularly said male, because I can really speak from a unique, African American male point of view. And the what I would think is, I encourage and want people to come out here as much as possible, especially our brothers, again, for what I described earlier about that feeling when you are here and how you are invited into society, and how the entire community is there for you. That feeling of having to be watched, that feeling of having any extra things except from just being a human is alleviated most of the time here. You can just interact as one human being to the other human being, and then also learn about culture. And for us, especially us in this, I guess specifically for the United States, our brothers, African Americans, that have had to go through all of the heavily policing, had to deal with a lot of the racial injustices that were targeted towards black men. You know, those things are really alleviated here, and you're able to live in your state of being that's very unique to just being yourself. So that right there is priceless. And then the transition here, as I speak to a lot of the brothers transition pretty easily.
Yeah.
You know, because they okay with certain the conveniences of America may not be here, but the swap, the trade-off, logistically, logically, guys will be. This makes sense, you know.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. I can handle it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. If I just got to deal with this and I ain't got to deal with that, I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm all right. That's you know what I'm saying. So that's one of the. I've noticed that with especially the men. And I was just speaking with a brother. I was at a friend Bailey. Shout out to Bailey Brown. She had a movie premiere in L.A. and a brother that was here before I met here, and I saw him over there, and he was like, "Man, I'm trying to get back to Ghana, man.
Yeah.
Can you talk more? Let's. You know, I got to see if I can get my wife. I got to convince her to come back, man. But I'm trying to, man. We went over there, and I played this brother's case, man. We're trying to get him back. It's just a feeling us brothers have.
Yeah, right.
You know, that is so, you know, and I employ more sisters to inspect that, to examine why is that? Why do brothers feel so good over here when it comes to like their natural like state of just being?
Right.
You know, that's something that's I think is worth the study for, you know, our sisters.
Right. Right. Great.
So I agree. The more open-minded you are, the better. I think about everything. The more open-minded you are, you live a better life.
Right.
That's just my point of view. That's just like a way of life I try to live by. You know.
So now, as a movie director, I know recently you did a video. You made a movie. You were part of a movie. You were the main character. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Nine.
Nine.
Yes. Myself, Rosemary Zimu of Savage Beauty. That she has a show on Netflix on Savage Beauty out of South Africa. And Rosemary Zimu and myself. Okay. Shout out to Chastity Sanders. She was in the film as well from the States. We all came over to Ghana. Okay. South Africa. Yeah. States. Nigeria. Okay. Kate Henshaw, like all of us came in to make this international film. Yeah, it's being film now directed by a Ghanaian Chris Atto. Yeah, who's Ghanaian. I did not. Chris is a superstar.
Oh, really? Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
I mean, he's done a couple of beautiful, awesome videos, movies out there. Yeah. And I was very happy, seeing the effects. I was like, yo.
Yeah. It went out. It was a co-production between. It was a Ghanaian production company, Chris's. And then Silver Lining, which is out of Los Angeles. Okay. So it was a co-production between Ghana and the US.
How did you get that role?
You know what's so funny? I had just got back from Ghana too when I auditioned for this role. So I just got back. I auditioned for the role. I knew the producer. Shout out to Angela. I knew the producer just from being around LA. Okay. And those things. You know, the industry's small out there when you're running around. Right. And send over audition sides and stuff by Lemise. Shout out to Lemise, good sister, casting director. Sent it over. I sent in an audition. They had, I think I sent it in twice. We had some adjustments, and then I booked it and it was shooting in Ghana. I'm like, I just got back, so I paid for that one. This one I get to come over on the film down. So I mean, it's a different season.
It's a different season.
Yeah. It's a different season.
But it's so good. How was the feeling? The day of the premiering.
The premiere we was at with Silverbird. It was nice, man. They really went all out. I was all around billboards around the crowd. Yeah, man. It was amazing, bro. It was really a spectacular thing to see. Right. Like I had never had that much of exposure on billboard form in my films that I've been a part of. So I was really impressed, man. Shout out to Ghana.
Yeah, big up yourself. What are the major 2 or 3 points you would like to raise if the government of Ghana is listening right now?
Oh, wow.
And you would want to suggest a change in how the system runs. What would those be?
Shout out to the government of Ghana right now. I see that things are moving. It's being progressive. I'm really happy about it. I wasn't able to vote in the last election. Okay. Yeah, I just had. Vote? Yeah, but I'm able to vote. I'm a citizen now. Oh yes, I'm a Ghanaian citizen, Johnny.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you. Which day were you born?
Oh, my official name is Nana Kwame Obu the First.
Nana
Kwame Obu the First, Divisional Chief of Asabo Central Region.
Big up yourself, my chief. Oh wow! Yeah, congrats!
Yeah, thank you,
congrats! Wow, wow, that is beautiful. So, if you had opportunity,
yes, okay. So speaking, okay. I don't want to have to keep expression we have of beating a dead horse, but if we change the roads, the infrastructure, it will change dramatically what Ghana represents to the rest of the world.
All right.
These roads will build so much commerce and so many different things that will elevate Ghana. And not all the roads, because we understand the undertaking, but the main fairways. I see the road. I see what they're doing with the construction they're doing on the road. Yeah. The Accra to Takoradi. Yeah. I support that and love that that's going on. Right. And maybe let's just locally, let's focus in on our local roads. Let's have our local municipalities, be in charge of the roads and then help with some funding. Right. And then source around the communities for the funding even more if you want your particular road to be done at this amount of time. Right. Have a government track list, like we got it slated for this time. But if you want to contribute this and this in the community, you guys come to raise this amount. Well, we can get it done at this speed. Something that to incentivize, and then include the community, because more community involvement, the more that they feel like this is you wanted something you want to keep up and keep clean, and those type of things. Secondly, again, I know this might be pie in the sky, a wish on a dream, a train system. A commuter transit train system would, take a train from Accra to the Cape Coast, and then stop at Elmina, and then stop in Takoradi. Just do Accra, they do Cape Coast to Takoradi. Or whatever you want to start it off. That train would change commerce. It would change everything. So those roads and those type of infrastructural things would be is another thing. Right. It's hurting me right now, but I want them to continue to, because it's really helping everyone else with the CD to dollar ratio. Okay. Just imagine a third of your spending power being cut over 2 weeks. That's what happened to me. It went from basically 15 to 10.
To 10 is now 10.
Yeah, so that's a third
business.
That's a third. That's big business right there.
Yeah.
So, but I know my people, my neighbors, and everyone else is helping out. It's making the economy stronger. Right. So, it is what it is, man. It just was a blessing that I was able to build a lot of this when it was around that time.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, good. So I know you've been watching. You've been taking notes of whatever he's been saying. The advice and everything to our young, African diasporan brothers who would love to relocate, because most of the time you would have to do it before the family follows, right? Most of the time you would have to make the step, come in, do the research, put things together, then your family can follow. So I am happy that you tune in, you click on this video, share this video, send it to anybody that you think would have to watch this video. We have a part 2 of this video coming that is going to look at where we are sitting right now. How did this whole place come about? Thank you very much for checking us out.